Hello and welcome back to Stranded Deep, welcome back to the map editor, and welcome back to this island we are creating. Last time we made a happy little bridge, and the time before that we blocked in most of the island, and the time before that we added a giant cave to everything. But if you are joining us right now, we are on the PC version of the game, which means the controls are W to go forward, S to go back, A to go left, D to go right, Q to go down, E to go up. You push and hold the right mouse button to pan everything around. But wait, there's more, there's always more if you bring out an object from the toolbox. R rotates, T transforms, C for Charlie, that clones, delete, deletes, and F for Foxtrot. That's focus. And the larger an item is, the further away the camera's going to be. If we select a smaller item and hit F, we're going closer. Anyway, let's get rid of the aeroplane and go and look at the happy little bridge, because we made that last time and there's something to note with it. It looks great. It's a little vignette, and I'm a big fan of adding lots of very small, very detailed things to an island, and eventually you have a fully populated island of things the player can run, jump, and climb over. That's the plan. We don't have to get this island done in any particular number of episodes. We can spend a long time building things, and I'm pretty sure we'll do that. Lots of different things, lots of interesting things, but there is a bit of a problem from this point on. You see, the camera in this direction has a constant velocity up until we hit an object, like these trees. It gets worse though. As we get closer to this pile of rocks, everything slows down and speeds up. I'm just holding W. It's going to get very slow through here, and then as soon as we're clear of the rocks, we scoot towards the edge of the map. That's because the camera does not have constant velocity, and every time you get close to an object, the camera slows down. But it gets worse. If you have a lot of objects next to each other, the camera gets very, very slow, almost unbearably slow. And then what can happen is you just scoot off. It's not lag that you're seeing. It's nothing to do with the performance of the computer. It's everything to do with the fact that the map editor needs some love. And I can show you just how much love the map editor needs if we go down to the shipwrecks and find shipwreck 3A. What? Where is it? It's here. This is shipwreck 3A. Shipwreck 3A, say hello world. We can see the grab rails, but we can't actually see the shipwreck until we get far enough away. It will absolutely appear in game, but in the map editor it is absolutely broken. That's a shame. There's a bunch of other things that are broken. This sand was very smooth last time. It was perfectly smooth. I smoothed it with my own brush. And now it's all jagged and things. And things, yeah. Yeah, since the full release of the game on PC, the beach is, especially the sand, is just polygonal. And there's nothing we can do about that. We just have to work around these things. Speaking of working around these things, this episode we're going to mask the fact that there is a huge void through the center of the island, and if you stare into the void, it tends to stare back at you. And that's disconcerting for your neighbours, especially if you happen to be your neighbour and you're on a nearby island. You just see this huge archway and then a hole straight through the middle. That's not great. We need to obfuscate that. I'm going to use Cliff 2. Cliff 2, what's that? This one. It's a big column of rock. What we're going to do is just put some columns down. And then we are going to... Well, how big do we need to go? This is going to look stupid. Everyone's like, oh, you've ruined it. You've ruined your island. I can't believe you've done this. Well, we're just going to hit R to rotate and spin it around a little bit. We need to keep these thoroughfares clear, because we need a way of people getting their boats in and out. And we can tell how much space we have by going to structures, going to shipwreck 2A. Shipwreck 2A is basically going to tell us how much space we need through here. And we can tell a 4x4 raft fits on the deck, so nose on, fits on the deck up to the wheelhouse. If If this can fit here with clearway either side, then yes, you can get a large raft, a 4x4 raft through here. If someone builds an even bigger raft than that, well, then that's on them. I'm not going to hold a hand on this one. But wait, there's... Oh, no, we're already doing it. We're doing it. Yeah, we need a way up here. We need a way to get people up here. I don't know if we want another cliff too. I'm going to deselect this line. There we go. Maybe. Maybe. There we go. There we go. We're just... Because we can only put it out so far. I think there is as far out as we can go. Oh. Why would we not do this? There we go. Drop that down there. I kind of prefer rule of 3 though. Rule of 3 or 5. Alright. Okay, let's rock this around. So what we're doing is we're just finding things that we can pop into the sea. Now it might be that we need to just kind of move things around until they look visually okay. The trouble with 4, you can always draw a square between 4 items. Where you have 3 items, it's less obvious. I might get rid of that. I'm going to get rid of that, yep. There we go. Okay, good. Do we need this one? That is a good question. What I don't want to do is create a situation where you have an area where the player doesn't want to go. Yeah, I think that's okay. That's fine. We can work with this. Let's close that, hit terrain objects, and then come in. Now, what we've got is like a cute little beach thing going on here. That's actually real nice. I do like that. This side, however, is just a mound of sand, and it looks like ass. So we're going to hit terrain. We're going to read terrain paint height. I'm going to select that. I'm going to make sure the amount slider, this amount slider, remember, through all the brushes, raise and lower, set height and smooth height, this amount slider stays between all the brushes. So if you're smoothing an island off with the amount cranked all the way up, and then you hit raise and lower, and you left click, you're going to punch a hole straight to Cthulhu's bedroom. There's no undo. Remember to slide that amount all the way down. Anyway, we are going to be using retrain paint height from there. I'm going to slide that up a little bit, change the size down a bit, and then in here, just paint out this side. This side, because one side is lower than the other. Oh yeah. Now we're going to throw some rocks and things here. Clickety clicks. Yeah, we're doing the clickety clicks. It's fine. No, I might just do a little... No. Retrain paint height from the middle, and then just push that in a little bit through here. These bubbles, if they don't go, and they did, sometimes the bubbles don't go, and that's a hole in your mesh. Your water mesh. Retrain paint height. Are they going to go? Oh yeah, they did. I'm going to pull that out a bit through here. Because the player's not going to want to run through that if we don't. Smooth tool, crank the amount up, and then smooth what we've done off. Neat. I kind of want to push it back a little bit here. We can turn the ocean off, hitting display ocean. But wait, all the shadows are now biffed because we were looking at the horizon. Oh no, display ocean back on, look up at the sky, praise the sun, and then look down again and the shadows are fine. How can you tell where the water is? Well, if you have caustics turned on, which is these lovely light effects, that's where the water is. Oh, and we can also see that it suddenly gets super duper shallow, super duper deep there. And that is the opposite of shallow. So what I'm going to do is read terrain paint height from about here, make sure the amount slider's down, and then pull this out a bit here, and then do the same thing, and just pull it out in some steps. Read here. Why don't you just use raise and lower? Because I don't want to. Because what I'm now going to do is soften that up. Using the soften the ass out of the beach tool. And now that's a nice gentle slope. Oh, cool. That's what I wanted to see. Let's turn the ocean back on. And what we're going to do now is... I'll probably smooth that on the inside even though we can't see it. You can't really see the brush underwater unless your face is in fact underwater. There we go. Because there's no fog layer when you are in the map editor underwater. That's a fun little thing. Objects. Yes, we're going to add some objet d'art. What does that mean? It means lovely objects. Anyway, we're going to put some rocks in here. Rotate them around so they kind of look neat. Anything that looks neat. Move it in a bit. Cool. Yeah, that's fine. Is that something that's going to snag a raft as you go through there? Probably. Do we think about that sort of thing? Nah. Anyway, we hit terrain again, and we hit raise and lower. Mount slider all the way down. Just bump it off the stop. Change the size of this down. Yeah. Then manually by clicking. Clicking is probably the best way of doing this. I'm going to raise up a little bit of land here. Oh. Ooh, daring. Yep, as if the rocks themselves have had an effect on what is going on this beach. It's smooth, crank that up, size up a little bit, and then smooth that off. And remembering that no matter how much we smooth, it's going to be busted by the time we get back. I was wondering if those bubbles were going to stay, but nope, they disappeared. Okay, that's good for the time being. Let's move over here and just whip the camera around, give everyone a good dose of motion sickness. Why would we do that? Why would you do that? Because I'm a little gremlin. Objects, select that. And then R to rotate, spin it. Oh, it spins around, not on its axis. Yeah, it's slightly, the axis is slightly off center. It's weird. Move that back so we've got some space. Cool. Then what I want is a way to get up to the top here. Train objects, so we don't have anything selected. Rockety rocks. Oh, we can use the big rock. Crank that up. R to rotate. And then find a nice side to walk on. Is that a nice side to walk on? Would you put your feet on that? I don't know. Is that side better? Probably. Yeah, that looks a little better. Might want to rotate it around. And then just jam it into this rock here. Now we've got to use the toggles, and sometimes the toggles are a bit obfuscated. And the way you find what works is just move the camera around until something happens. R to rotate. Speaking of finding what happens. We're going to need this, and then... Okay, can big rock... That's big rock 1, big rock 2. Do the same thing. Raise it up. Rotate it around until you find a nice edge. Wait a second. Are these the same rock? Have I been doing this so long I've forgotten what the rocks look like? Oh no! Not that it actually matters at all to anyone. There's a little gap there. Yeah, there is. Ooh, is that jumpable? I don't know, I'm going to whip the camera around. That looks jumpable, doesn't it? Yep, cool. Alright, that's neat. That's neat, that's neat, that's neat, that's neat. I think that works. Yeah, cool. And we're just going to do the same thing. We could clone that, bring that back, move that over, and give it a little rotate. Oh, that's clever. Yeah, it is. We don't need to keep busting our asses making stuff. Unfortunately, we can't clone a whole army and then execute Order 66. That would be kind of rad, if I'm going to be honest. But what we can do is clone various rocks and just move them around in order to make a little... It's not quite a jumping puzzle, but the player's going to get the idea, you know? We're making something to hide this big-ass hole. And what we're doing is we're actually just kind of putting a bunch of rocks in the way. Just getting in the way, really. But it's giving the player something to do. And there are some stakes. I mean, if you fall off there, it's going to hurt. You're going to twist your ankle at least. If you fall off here, we might need to make this a little deeper. Might need to make it a little deeper. We are going to rotate. There. Good. Now, how do we know if we hit terrain objects? How do we know that the player can get across here? That is a very, very good question. Mr. Door. I mean, yeah, looks as if the player can get across there. I mean, yeah, the gap's no bigger than an actual door in terms of width. Yeah, the player should be able to get across that. It's lower on one side and it's no wider than the door, so that should be fine. That should be fine. That should be absolutely fine. We can always test that actually in game, and if it's not, then just tweak these rocks. And now the player can get up here, or can they? Not really. That's the funny thing. They can't get up onto this first platform. Oh, how do we do that? Another excellent question. I'm glad you asked. We're going to need to go back to rocks, and we're going to need to find another rock. Not you, big rock. It's a cliff piece. I can't remember which cliff piece it is, so we'll just have to whip them all out. Is it? It's this one. Cliff 3? Yeah, cliff 3. In order for all of these columns not to look the same, we're going to just jam these two together. Oh, look at that. It looks suddenly different, even though it's basically the same thing. I know, right? It's. I'm just going to have a little gap there. Make sure there's no places where the player can sort of fall in and then get their little leggies stuck. There we go. There's a little gap there. So you don't want a player jumping around and then just getting stuck in terrain and having to exit and reload. They get really upset about that sort of thing. They really do. They're just like, oh, you didn't test your map. Anyway, rocks, please. Thank you. I think we are going to throw in a big old rock. Like this. Really? Why? Because it's a different colour, and we are training the player to look for the different colour. Are we? Well, I am. I don't know what you guys are doing. But we can train them to do all manner of things. If we put in ficus trees and put fruit underneath them, the player is going to look at every ficus tree on the island and see if there's fruit underneath it. That's what players do. Anyway, there we go. And then maybe another big rock over here. Big rock 3? I think so. Let's move that in. And then drop it down. There we go. There we go. And then give it a little rotate. Mixed media, huh? Yep, there we go. Terrain objects, so we don't have anything selected. Whoa! We suddenly have a kind of jumping puzzle. Well, it's not a jumping puzzle. It's a make the jump or break your legs. Which I guess is a puzzle, because your legs will be shattered and then you have to put them back together. Curious. I'm more curious. Anyway, we also have this little nubbin of sand here, and while it's fine the way it is, it just kind of looks a little bit like butt. I'm going to smooth it off. The amount slider is all the way up. Should have moved that down for safety reasons. I will smooth the sand off in the vain hopes that one day this was patched and fixed, but it never has been. You're not bitter about that. Look at the smooth sand. It's like silk. And then I'll save and come back again, and it'll look like a buzzsaw. I mean, nobody wants to sleep on a buzzsaw, but everyone wants to sleep on silk. Well, I don't know. Some people might. Or Egyptian. Smooth as Egyptian cotton. There you go. That covers most people. Objects. Yeah, we're going to slap a rock in the end. We can use these shoreline rocks. Yeah, we can. Shoreline rocks are fine. It's a way of just saving time, if I'm going to be honest. Teach transform. If it's on the sand, if it's on the grass, we have to worry about grass sprites. But if it's on the sand, we can just pop it in and not worry about grass sprites or anything like that. The only thing I am worried about is if there's any like bit of rock poking out. So I'm going to drop it in. There we go. And it just means that if there's a weird spit of sand, it doesn't look odd that it's there, that it hasn't been washed away. Good, excellent. Terrain objects. Cool. We are going to go all the way to the top, and we're going to slap some trees in, I think. Are you going to slap some trees in? Yeah, we are going to look for the ficus. So we know the ficus tree 1 and ficus tree 2 are trees that cannot be chopped down. If we want to make beautiful islands with beautiful trees, we can slap them in. And rotate that. But wait, there's more. Oh, I'm rotating the rocks. Yeah, this happens. So sometimes if you have an object or several objects behind an object and you do a little rotate and you let go, the selection will snap to the object behind it. And then you go to move it again and you move whatever's behind it. That could be right behind the object, or it could be in the opposite side of the island. This is something that has never been fixed and will never be fixed. I'm sorry. On behalf of the developers, I am very, very sorry. Ben and Sam have worked hard on this game, but my God, it's infuriating. If I was a different person, I would be very upset. What I'm not going to do is put a branch fully out over the water, just so it doesn't snag. Like, there's a bit of green here, which I think... Dog, I think that should have a branch on it. I'm not entirely sure what these sprites are, like, holding on to. Ah. Is that tree broken? Yeah, there's sprites that are just not connected to branches. Weird. We're going to world tree this? No, I don't think we need to do that. I would normally put palm trees over here, but I think I'm going to do this. Ooh, look at that. Look at that. Bubbles. You can barely see them, but they're in the middle of the screen. That means there's a gap in the water mesh there. We are going to need to raise that up. Crank that down. But why? Because if we don't, bad things will happen. Well, that's as good as we're going to get. I think bubbles are gone. Yeah, there we go. Bubbles are something that I just pathologically need to remove. Now we have ourselves a branch going out over the water. That should be okay. But since the player is going to be on this side of the island, let us do this. So you're standing here and you're looking out to sea and you have this branch. And you can stand... there's rocks! We had the tree selected, right? That was definitely the tree selected. Yeah. That is going to get us in all manner of trouble. I do not understand why they would keep assing around with the thing. Right, cool. Wow, that's good. Great. Excellent. Yeah, we're going to keep an eye on that. Rocks moving. We are going to then probably slap a banana right here. I do like the nans, but no one's going to be walking there, which means if no one's walking there, it's going to be a lot easier for us to put something like that in there. Neat. Speaking of fruity trees, let's put some... oh, yeah! A Saruman? I think so. You can praise the sun by sort of poking upwards, and it'll rotate and disguise the fact that there's a bunch of ugly-ass rocks here. I was going to say fruit trees. We've got some driftwood as well. Oh, this is what I was saying. So sometimes, if you don't deselect things and you pull something out of the toolbox, we've just pulled out some driftwood, that Saruman is now rotating. If I had transform on, it would be sliding off into the ether, which is why we always terrain and objects, why I keep doing terrain and objects and then bring out the driftwood. It's, yeah, it's something of a pain in the butt. I don't know why this happens. I think it might actually just be a Windows thing, or something to do with the UI and rather than the game itself. Let's put that back. Speaking of ficuses and fruit trees, we got the Kura, which is huge, but we also got the Kwawa, which is PQ Kwawa tree. There we go. I think the potato actually. Or do we want the PP? Oh, PP might be better. There we go. If you see a ficus, go and explore it. Go and see if there's something underneath it for you. a little treasure, a little peepee. Cool. That's neat. So we've just made a... I just slammed a rock. I have to get out of that. Slammed a rock into my own face. Okay, cool. That's neat. Might just hit terrain objects and then throw in a small rock. Small rock. There we go. There we go. Just a little thing here, just so it looks a little bit like this is a bit more protected. There we go. Now, you might say to yourself, well, why don't you use the other shoreline rock? There is another shoreline rock 1. This big old flat plate of rocks. There is a historical bug with this. If I let go, I will never be able to select this again. It will be in my world forever. Yeah, you can't select it. It's just so strange. You can do whatever you want, but you just can't select it. I'm going to grab another small rock. Terrain objects, make sure we don't have anything selected because stuff could move around in the background. There we go. There we go. Here we go. And then add some plants and various bits and pieces in. Acacia, yes, I think so. A little rotate. No, we can add more like palms and things afterwards, but I just want to get some little bits and pieces in just now. Since we are here, we've added PP. Do we want to, I think we want to hold the pink plant. I don't do anything, but I think we're going to hold on to it, which means we get another non. Maybe not. Which means I might throw an aloe in here, you know? There we go. For a little bit of aloe. Nice. But wait, yeah, terrain objects. I think this needs a little bit more rocks around it. And I think the shoreline rock 2 is definitely going to come into its own here. Pop it in, give it a rotate, give it a turn. Do your little turn on the catwalk. There, cool. Rotate down, and then transform. Pop it in. Neat. And you just get a little bit more rocks without having to bring them out one at a time. A little bit more rocks. Are you English? Yes. Although that, I admit, was a terrible use of the language. Anyway, trees. We're gonna go and grab ourselves a cocoa bush. Has it been a long day? Oh, you have no idea. It's been a very long day. And after this, I'll go and get dinner. What are you having for dinner? Pizza! Oh! Okay. Yes, it's one of those days. It's going to be quite late by the time I finish this. Which means I'm going to move this in such a way that we've got a bunch of green on here. I think these are actually much bigger than they look. Then move this out. I'm just trying to get it to fit in such a way that it looks kind of neat, but doesn't reveal the base part of this. And you can see the camera jumping around because we're too close to an item. We'll do the same thing over here. Terrain objects. But because this is curved slightly, I'll hit rotate and then move that in so it's snug up against the actual cliff itself. I don't really want it touching the water, but there we go. I'll rotate. Nice. Nice. Excellent. And we could probably do the same thing over there as well. Really? Yep. No, rotate. It's actually quite good, this bush. Nobody liked it originally because it replaced a happy little bush, and then it was just this big green monster. And actually it serves a huge purpose by adding a lot of greenery in an area which would not normally have greenery in it, which is kind of cool. And so this rock has a lot of greenery. I think, let's get rid of that. Please go away. There we go. Oh, why did you do that? Well, I think what we can do, terrain objects, is grab the cocoa bush Why don't you put it here? Oh. Okay. Yeah, I think it would be better facing the landward side. We'll just have to rotate it around until it fits. And it's going to be a pain in the butt. It's just one of those things. Slide that in. Cool. Yeah, that's not too bad. Rotate it around. This is one of those things that you do for a while and think, what am I doing with my life? What am I doing? Ooh, what's happening with my world? Alright. I think that's as good as we're going to get. Cool. Terrain objects. And we're going to go find the Nana plant. Banana. Why? Oh. Yeah, we can nan this thing up. It's great. It just adds some texture to our world. Banana. Banana plant. There we go. We can do that. We can just jam them on the rocks as well. We can just have nans just growing out the rocks. And everyone's just like, oh, there's a nan growing out the rocks. What's going on? I can't select it. I can't select. Jeez. You live there now. Train objects. I got... Nope. I think we can... There's got to be a way of selecting this. I want to be able to click and drag, but you can't do that. And you can't go through a list either of things. It's crazy. Some stuff that's just the way it is. But yeah, now we have all of this greenery, we can just use the rotate and transform. Let's jam that into the rocks. It doesn't actually matter at this point whether the leaves are clipped through the rocks because, well, who's going to see it? Okay. I mean, people are going to see it. I want an alocasia there as well. Why do you want the alocasia? One of these, it's got a flower on it. Not you. Not you. Is the Saruman? Oh, that's what I was thinking of, yeah. It's got a little flower! That might be visible from the top. Which means, can I select you again and transform? Yeah, I just put the stalk actually in the plant. I think the let me move you out a little bit. Can I not select that nan? What? Now I can. I'm going to delete you because it appears that banana plants are a pain in my ass. And then move that rock back. Good. Well, cool. The only way we're going to be able to see exactly... I think that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. It's fine. It's just working with the map editor. Sometimes I don't... Seriously? I'm going to delete you. I'm just going to delete you. Nope. Yep. And then move you back. Excellent. I think I might need to move you back a little bit this way. There we go. That's better. Yeah, if in doubt, just move stuff around. Okay, terrain objects, got everything deselected. So we've got a little island going on here. It's a little bare bones, not basic, but it does exactly what we need it to do. It is now obfuscated the fact that there is a giant ass hole in our island, but also it means that if I'm sailing around, if I'm sailing around on my raft and I'm like, oh, I don't know which way to go, well, now I do, because I can see this little jumping puzzle and I can go, oh, right, well, we'll sail this way then. We've got some neat things in here. So, neat place for stuff to happen. I'm thinking, though, with my little brain. What else do you think with? You do not want to know. No, tell us. Alright, well, sometimes use a magic 8-ball. At least I did. I think I've lost it. And the magic 8 ball. What? Yeah, don't worry about it. I'm going to put this here. There we go. I just want to see... Oh, no. 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 Oh, no. No, no, no. No, you go now. Ooh. That would mean the arse end of our boat is hanging off over the abyss. Oh, we're not doing... I didn't realise we were that close. Yeah, no, let's grab another shipwreck. I'm going to put this here. Just under the water. There we go. Just for somebody to stumble across and find that. Okay, there's a reason for being here. We're going to need to come along and put palm trees and the like here as well, and probably do some other bits and pieces. But for the time being, I think this is actually quite substantial. I think what we could also do is probably put something up here. Little shelter. It's a huge shelter. I know there's a smaller one. Done this before though. Yeah, we have. We could put a shelter up here. Is there a small one? Nope. It's definitely this one. Do a little rotate. Do a little rotate. And bring it up. And just get Mr. Skelly-Bobs. There's a Skelly Man! Yeah, there is. I just want him just resting on there. Now, we have a little gap here, so terrain objects. Let's go back up. Grab a rock. Big rock? I think so, yeah. Why not? That'll do. R to rotate. T to transform. Drop it in, drop it down. I just don't like that leg being sort of out. I think what we could probably do is, in fact, rotate that around and to get a nicer side to it. There we go. That's a bit better. That's a lot better. Cool. Oh, wait. Is there... Oh, why not? Why not? Why should there not be more? I'll put that there. And then... what else? Well... Someone absolutely wants to hoof themselves off the edge. They can do that. And we're just going to pull this up using the blue toggle. There we go. And this probably goes down a bit. Good. Excellent. But that's the abyss. Yeah, I'm going to angle it slightly. Let's do this. But there's a wreck there. I know, but I think the wreck is far enough underwater that if you... Oh, that's probably actually dangerous, isn't it? Let's get rid of the wreck so that anyone diving in there doesn't get immediately moided. And then put the wreck over somewhere else. Let's do structures. I'll tell you what, let's throw a rowboat here. Not there, but here. Rotate it around. Transform. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. But rowboat can't just exist in the world by itself, so let's grab a little rock and just chunk it next to the rock. Small rock. Bonk. Just under there. Just another one. I want that size. Okay, cool. Then we're going to need to pull this back a little bit just to make sure that this is navigable. I think that is. Yeah, should be. We can always move it slightly over. There we go. And then... There we go. Yeah, I just want it clear of the navigable channel. Done, 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 and done. And with this, well, what's going on here? What is going on here? Ah, well, okay. Well, we're going to need a, I guess, not you though. The big one? Yeah, why not? Let's just move it around until we find a place for it to be, I think. We're going to make it work. Or we're not. that's the other way of doing it. Right, okay. That feels better. So I want to drop the height down in such a way that the player can walk through without getting stuck, but also we have this cool ass tree. Neat. That's pretty much a cool ass tree. Terrain objects. Let's go back up and then hit up rocks. Big rock, slap you in. There you go. Done and done and done. Teach transform, pull you in, make you look like the rest of the cliff. Cool. But where there's more, there's always more. Can you even get up there? That is an excellent question. I'm not entirely sure you can because of this. We are moving incredibly slowly though. Okay, I'm going to move this here, rotate it. I think we might have just messed up a little bit here. It's not a problem. There we go. Move that back, and then we go. There we go. And then for this, okay, sure. We can just move something in here just to get a little bit of greenery in. Just a little bit of greenery. That toggle, T to transform, push it down into the world. Give it a rotate so some of the leaves aren't in fact getting stuck in there. I can see your roots. There we go. Good. Sermon? Regular sermon? Yeah. There, I know there's a little bit of like verticality. There we go. Then give it a little rotate. And I think that's probably fine. Good. Right. Transform this. There we go. The skeleton's not in the nook anymore. We did actually move that quite far over. How far over? I think that far. I think it was a huge distance away. Which means these are now kind of not aligned to anything, but that's not an issue. Good. Yeah, that was weird. I was like, wait, Skelly Man's not in his little nook. Move that up. There we go. That's better. That's better. All right. So we have more things that we need to do. But I'm going to leave it here because otherwise we're going to be just fidgeting with this for a while. Basically, what we have is our offshore island. We've smoothed the sand as much as we can get away with, but we can't really get away with more than we've done. We've got a little wreck on the beach. It is out of the channel. We've got some trees, which is nice, with some rocks just on the edges of the island itself. And then we have a little sort of jumping puzzle. Less of a puzzle and more if you fail, yes, you break your legs. You walk up here and then jump across a gap, and then once you're up here, the easiest way off is just to jump off here into the sea, but knowing that the abyss is right there. It's a heck of a thing to see, but I think it might work. It's just fidgety when you get to this stage and you're having to move things around, trying to select objects, trying to select items. There's no way of fixing that, not without an item list, unfortunately, and we managed to cram a huge tree on top of there. We will probably have to come back and tidy this up, but yeah, I'm going to leave it here. If you like this video, definitely leave a little like, leave a subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. If you want notifications, ding on the bingle. If you don't want notifications, don't click the bell, and I'll tell you what, I'll catch you next time.